Hey Hoopers, it's Deanne Love here, and today is a very special episode because it has been 1 year since I decided to fully share my hoop love letters and tutorials with you every single week. Now, a lot has happened in 1 year, and if you remember back, my first real tutorial was waist hooping for total beginners, or how to hula hoop for total beginners, and since then it has had so many hits, which makes me really happy. It either means that a few of you are just watching it over and over again, or that there's lots and lots of total beginner new hoopers. If you have been hanging out with me every week and doing the tutorials, then chances are you've picked up quite a few tricks and your hoop dance flow has probably taken off. But I want to take you back to that first waist hooping tutorial or moment, because we never want to disregard the beauty of waist hooping. So I am going to show you some other things or moves that you can do while waist hooping. One really beautiful way that you can start to dance inside your hoop is go with the flow, and that means turning in a circle. So if your hoop is going around to the left, then you can start to turn to the left as well, and you're going to keep the pulse and keep the posture up nice and tall, but just take yourself around in flow with your hoop. Now, just like life, if you go with the flow, it's kind of calm and cruisy, maybe a little bit too cruisy for you, so let's go against the flow, which means that your hoop will be going in one direction and you're going to pulse and push and circle in the other. Now, if you really want to start to get that spiral dance action, you're going to integrate both of those directions with your body and also maybe with your hoop. So just start off nice and cruisy, going in your preferred direction with your hoop and making circles in one direction and little pulses and stop and turn in the other. Not only is this kind of spiral dance action going to give you a really strong core, but it's going to tighten up your hoop dance skills. Another beautiful method that you might like to use when you are going in flow or circling in the same direction as your hoop is a little stall. So start off turning and just kind of feel into where the hoop is connecting with your body, and then have a little look. When the hoop opens up at the front, the big gap opens up at the front, and as you're turning, you're going to place your arms down and behind and just stall the hoop right here. So it's almost like you're giving a little squeeze against your middle or lower back and the inside of your arms. And if you continue turning, when you let go, your hoop will have momentum. So you can create that into a dance. So you're going to be turning around, arms go down, stall, continuously turn, try not to get too dizzy, and then use your arms to propel the hoop back into its spiral. Now let's try a method that I like to call shifting, and really what it is shifting your weight from one side of your body to the other. And in the beginning, this may be a little difficult, so you might just like to think of your center, and then simply as you're continuously pulsing and keeping your posture up nice and tall, just shift your weight over to one side, feeling a heaviness in, say, your right side foot and hip, and then coming back to your center and then shifting your weight over to the other side. And then as you get more courageous and you feel more strength, then you can really start to shift and lift. So shift to center, side, and lift, up and down. You can kind of get that high and low. And then, as it all starts to come together, you may really like to shift and move and spring and just see how far you can go. And when you feel like the hoop is going to drop, come back to that grounded center and just move into it with your pulse. Breaking and reversing the hoop while waist hooping is definitely a favorite of mine, but in the beginning it was a little challenging because you really have to get used to the timing of your hoop and be able to look for that space at the back and stop your hoop. Then not wait for it to drop, you need to be really quick and push it in towards your belly. So if you're finding that is quite challenging in the beginning, that is totally cool. You can grab your hoop with a 1-2, so first hand, second hand, and then you can hold that hoop or press that hoop against your back and spin it back into the opposite direction. 1-2 and back. 1, 2, and back. Now once you're feeling really strong with that, you can start to get the break, reverse, and spiral, which I love. Now how about the break, reverse, spiral, and shifting? So we can start to bring all of those methods into our waist hooping, and that's when you're really dancing. So break, reverse, you might be shifting side to side with your weight. Break, reverse, shifting, and spiral. Side to side. You get it. So we're going to start to keep building and dancing. One of the biggest challenges that we all encounter, it doesn't matter how long we've been hooping, is what to do with our hands while we're waist hooping. Often they just kind of hang there, which is not so cool, and you're not really getting that full body expression. And apart from, you know, kind of doing your hair or checking out your nails or standing like this, which is totally fine if you're, say, watching TV, but if you are really wanting to dance or someone's watching you, then you really need to start to express with your arms. So let's just improvise, let's just play around right now. So I like to think that there is a whole lot of space. So really you can start to feel into that space at the front and at the side and above and behind, which is super challenge. So the front and the sides and the top and behind. Now there's also that internal gap. So as the hoop opens up at the front, you can scoop down, and as it opens up at the back, you can scoop down. And notice my hoop is going to the left, so I am going in that front left pocket with my left hand and that back right pocket with my right hand. In the beginning it feels really tricky, but after a while you will become really used to the timing of your hoop and the space that opens up. So what you can start to do is bring all of those movements in, the shifting, looking for space, using the hands, dipping down, spiraling, breaking in reverse. And once you start to bring all of those methods into your hoop dance, while on your waist, it looks completely incredible. Waist hooping is the heart, it's the rhythm, it's the soul of hoop dance. So please don't disregard it. Make sure that you give yourself time and give your hoop time to get into some hoop dance flow simply by waist hooping. You never need to be stuck in the mud with this. There are so many different ways that you can express yourself while waist hooping. So grab your hoop right now and have a little play. I want to send out a really huge thank you for following along and watching for one whole year. Happy Hoopiversary to you. Thank you so much. Now, if you want to check out any of the other hoop tutorials that I've made in the past year, you can head on over to hooplovers.tv, or you can subscribe to this YouTube channel so you never miss them ever again.